Hey, this is Leon Finney, your host on Another Perspective here, broadcasting live and streaming live right now. 4108 South King Drive. This is our studio. We come to you every day between 11 o'clock and 11:15 to give you the best of what we see in the news. It's not that we create the news, but we try to find something in the daily news that helps us to understand how to improve and develop our own community. Now, we don't disparage other races or ethnic groups, but our focus is on pretty much the black and brown community. So, hey, y'all, listen up. What about those Cubs? Wow, man, I sat there on the couch all evening, I shouldn't say all evening, yesterday evening, following the game. And, of course, the Cubs led off with a home run and led the game most of all the way through the fifth inning. And then, of course, the score got tied, and it was 1-1, battling 1-1. The Cubs went through four pitchers, trying to stave off the Los Angeles. But at the end of the day, this old red-haired bearded guy by the name of Turner, Justin Turner, he was known to be dangerous when he came to the plate. And the Cubs had walked him just the previous bat, and they decided they were going to risk it and go with him. And at the end of the day, there were two men on base when Justin stepped up to the plate and popped a home run over the fence in the last inning of the game. That's the ninth inning. It was an awesome spectacle to see. And, of course, I, along with other loyal Chicagoans and some of us, the South Siders, decided we had to be with the North Side Cubs, because I grew up on the South Side of the city of Chicago. White Sox was where, Comiskey Park was where I most often visited, and I stayed pretty much with the Cubs, with the exception, with the Sox, with the exception, of course, when the Brooklyn Dodgers, which is now the L.A. Dodgers, when the Brooklyn Dodgers would play the Chicago team, then, of course, I had to go with the Brooklyn Dodgers. Why? Because one of the greatest players ever to play baseball, broke the racial barriers, Jackie Robinson. Jackie Robinson played for the Brooklyn Dodgers, and hey, we were all for the Brooklyn Dodgers. I don't give a doggone if you were black and you lived on the south side, or black and you lived on the north side. If you were black and lived anywhere, you were going to be pulling for the Brooklyn Dodgers just because of Jackie Robinson and what he did to break the racial barriers down that allowed black players to play in the National League, so the American League as well as the National League. But anyway, at the end of the day, the Cubs lost. Now they got to come back home to Wrigley Field and try in three games to get back on top. We don't know if they can pull it off. The Cubs' offense fell apart. They were not able to pull it when it came time to putting scores up on the board. The defense was pretty good, but at the end of the day, the Dodgers and LA just were too powerful to withstand for the Cubs to be able to withstand their insurgency, and they've had some dangerous guys coming to bat. But anyway, we're hopeful, and my brothers and sisters, black or white or brown, in Chicagoland, we're all pulling for the Cubbies. We want the Cubs to win. We want them to win another pennant, national pennant, and be the World Series winners. It's going to be tough, but we're going to keep on praying, because when it gets tough, the tough gets tougher. And so we're just asking all of our fans to be loyal and to stand with the Cubs as they come back. And if you can get out to the Cubs, if you can get out to the Wrigley Field, go. I'm not sure I'll be there, but we're going to be broadcasting and making sure that we cover that game. But anyway, this is Leon Finney, and I'm still here talking about the Chicago Cubs and trying to deal with the issues that impact our community. So anyway, the Cubs, and we're off that. And guess what? Guess what? We had a good comeback with the Chicago Bears. What about them Bears? The Bears. They had not won very much at all, but now the Bears won on the road, which is a major miracle. They beat the Ravens, Baltimore Ravens. They beat them 27-24. Beat the Baltimore Ravens 27-24 away from home. That means that they were not at Soldiers Field. They were not here in the city of Chicago. They went all the way to Baltimore and whipped the Baltimore Ravens. That was a great victory for the Chicago Bears. They've had a lot of problems in the front office. They've had a lot of problems with players changing quarterbacks. They've had problems on the defense line. They've had all kinds of problems. But, hey, I got to take my hat off. They pulled it off away from home. And, of course, the next game will be here in the city of Chicago when they come back to home to play this next Sunday. But anyway, it was a great week. Hey, we're sorry we lost the Cubs, but, hey, there was an offset here. We did win the Bears. And so you got the Cub Bears and the Bears, right? Hey, but anyway, it was a good Sunday. I enjoyed it all as I watched the games from kickoff and off, from first batter up all the way to the game, end of the game. So we're gonna. Hey, it's a good thing, and I don't know if my engineer is not prompting me to take a break, but I think I'm tired of talking for a minute, and so I'm gonna take a short break. And when I come back, we're gonna pick up with a major move that was made, still in sports, a major lawsuit that was filed by a NFL player.
This is the moment I knew his future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
One of the most important decisions Chicago teens will ever make just got a whole lot easier. Go.cps.edu is a new online platform that will stream the high school applications for Chicago Public Schools. If you are a rising 8th grader or know of any, tell them and their families to visit go.cps.edu to start learning about CPS high schools and subscribe to receive important announcements about the opening of the application system in August. This message is brought to you by Urban Broadcast Media.
Hey, this is Leon Finney. We're back here live at urbanbroadcastmedia.com. You can tune in on us right now. We're going hot on Facebook Live right now. So if you go to Facebook, you can actually see my ugly mug on the video screen. But anyway, we're out here now to deal with the issues, some more issues. We want to just shout out to Dr. Byron T. Brazier. He's the leader of the Brazier Foundation, and they just opened a new venture, a robotics factory at 95th and Cottage Grove. This came about by virtue of the church early on, and I remember Dr. Brazier talking about robotics, and I'm looking up in the air, robotics, and thinking, well, this is about, robotics is about removing and cutting jobs out rather than adding jobs. But he stuck to it. He received funding and support to put this robotic factory right out there at Chicago State University. It's a great move. They will now be training. The plant opens up with 25 employees. They'll probably train about 50 in the robotics technology. And the particular thing is they have contracts already to make plastic forks and plastic food, plastic knives and plastic spoons with the University of Chicago Hospital. That's a great move. And, of course, we want to shout out our thanks to I think it's a Chase Bank Foundation. They gave Dr. Brazier's organization $500,000. The church put up $100,000 of his own money. This is members in the church put up $100,000. And then, of course, just to train low-income families, and many of whom are out of work, Chicago Housing Authority put up $2 million. I believe it really was promising $2 million to fund training programs for former or current CHA residents. Hey, but it was a good move, and we want to shout out for good things happening in our community. And thank you, Dr. I want to almost say Bishop. Thank you, Dr. Byron T. Brazier, for a good job. Keep up the good work. Now, friends, I want to deal with a critical question. And the question right now is this race matter in organized sports. This last week, young Colin Kaepernick filed a grievance lawsuit claiming that he'd been discriminated against and that because he can't get work as one of the star quarterbacks of our times, he cannot get work in any of the football teams or football leagues. That's a major problem. And he says that the owners of the football leagues or teams have colluded to prevent him from being gainfully employed. It's a major move that he's taken, and he took it not because he was shooting people in the streets. He took it because he called blackball because he knelt during the playing of the Star Spangled Banner, which is always played prior to the start of any major league game, including minor leagues. And he did it to protest. He was taking a knee or kneeling to protest the unwarranted shootings of African American men by the police department or by members of police departments. And he wanted to protest that because it's a national scandal and it's a national shame that police officers are able to shoot unarmed black men and thereby render them gone. Many of them ended up dead. But anyhow, Kaepernick decided to file a lawsuit. We'll have to watch and see what happens. And we're going to shout out to Rev Jesse Jackson for doing a good job, too. Guess what? He took 158,000 pounds of food and water and hygiene products to our brothers and sisters in Puerto Rico. Hey, right on, Jesse Jackson. You're doing a good job. Keep on doing it. And I'm going to tell you, those of you who are out here need to, in our listening audience, make sure that you contribute. There are many organizations that you can contribute to. You contribute to Rainbow Push. You contribute to the Red Cross. But do something to help our brothers and sisters in Puerto Rico that are suffering right now from Hurricane Irma. Hey, this is Leon Finney, and you can run and tell that.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.